We got nothing.
There it is. I got it.
There we go.
I still didn't get it.
No, you're good.
You're
You got
hearing
it.
me through the actual computer. Let's try it one more
Oh.
time.
You sound good.
No, but I can't hear you through my headphones now.
Oh, okay. Well, I got nothing on that.
Jesus Christ. What is going on? All right. You stay there. It'd be awkward. I'm going to exit and come back, okay? All right. Jesus. Leave studio. Can I leave the studio? And you're still there?
Yeah,
No,
I think so.
Leave the site. Oh, shit.
Pretty sure. You've left me here before.
Yeah. I can't hear you through the headphones. This has literally never happened.
You clicked in?
Yeah, because the microphone's working. It's all in one thing.
I don't know. I got you. Mine's a different setup, obviously.
Yeah, I might have to go get just my headphones. Well, I could leave it on in just because I'm hearing you through the computer.
All right.
Audio test.
Settings audio.
Yeah, but it's not like it's hooked up to what it normally is. I don't know what the freak is going on.
It's like it's our rookie time. It's all right.
This doesn't make me happy. Well, Delco Steve, how are you, buddy?
Another day in paradise, my man. How about yourself?
I just came up with some breaking news. Did you see it?
I did not.
I don't think this was out there, but the New York Post talked to the creep Eagles fan, Ryan Caldwell.
Dude, that was 3 rows behind Erica's seats.
All right, so what does she know about it?
Well, so the gist was that I got she didn't know anything about like what happened on video. But the guy like came up the steps, like the Packers fan, with a body camera on, like getting the crowd riled up. Like it's like ahead of time.
Right, so he knew what he was doing.
Right. Yeah. And this dude just took the bait and really put his foot in his mouth.
All right. So like I didn't think he took the bait. This guy's obviously annoying. This Packer, by the way, this Packers fan's a complete loser. He's a complete and utter loser who goes on GoFundMe, puts a GoFundMe out there so people will pay for his tickets or pay for his cat that needed some kind of something. Or no, it was his sister's cat. It was his dog. His dog had cancer and he wanted the people to pay for it. Yeah, so I've been fascinated with this story. I thought after you saw the video, it was going to be hard for him to keep his job unless you had a job that was like, hey, we know this guy's a good dude, and like I don't know what the hell happened. That's totally out of context to what he is, but he works for a place that's a DEI. Like they promote that they're DEI. So I don't know how they couldn't. But so they put out this weird statement about how like they're going to condemn his actions but not condemn him as a person and blah 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 blah. So it's like, oh, what are you firing him for? If that's the case, just condemn him as a person, but keep him, or condemn the action but not as a person. I don't know, man. It was so weird. So he spoke to the New York Post about the video. This is the first that he's commented. Quote, the online video, quote, does not reflect the full context of what transpired, and my actions were not without provocation. While attending an NFL game last Sunday to support my beloved Philadelphia Eagles, an incident occurred that I deeply regret. What began as banter with 2 Packers fans sitting near me escalated into something more serious, and I said things that were unacceptable. In the heat of the moment, I chose unforgiving words to address one of the fans, Ms. Allie Keller. I want to sincerely apologize to Ms. Keller for those words and to my wife, family, and friends, my former employer and colleagues, Packers fans, Eagles fans, the Philadelphia Eagles, the city of Philadelphia, all of who were offended. That said, there are two sides to every story. The video clip circulating online does not reflect the full context of what transpired, and my actions were not without provocation. I will live with this experience, and I'm certainly paying a personal price. For those who don't know me, this incident does not reflect my values or the respect I have for others, and is not indicative of the person I am. So that's Ryan Caldwell in a statement to the New York Post earlier today. And like, because the dude cherry picked the video, you don't know what else is there. If he was wearing a body cam, it shouldn't be difficult to produce the whole thing. And you know what, Delco Steve, at this point, he should have to produce the entire thing. This just isn't some Twitter beef or war. This dude put this out there trying to assassinate him, and he did. The guy is a family. The guy's been fired from his job. If he tries to get another job, guess what the employer's going to do? They're going to be, what do I do when someone wants to work with me? Or Google them.
Click Google search.
And that comes up. And bro, that video is so bad.
Oh, it's so brutal. Yeah, because it was funny because we were talking about it Sunday night. Like, I already knew about this Packers fan beforehand. And then later on, I think it was the next day, Erica was like, oh yeah, so that guy I was telling you about with the body cam, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, like, what did he catch? And she's like, it's not good. I'm like, oh my God. And then she showed it to me, and I'm like, yeah, like, you don't come back from that one. But I will say, I did not think of the context of what could have happened beforehand. But again, either way, it doesn't justify what he said in any way, shape, or form.
Hello, Jessica. Exactly why he needs to control his mouth. And I agree with you 100%. Like, just the fact that he's calling he was calling her ugly too, right? Like, he was calling her like, don't
ugly,
look
dumb.
You're an ugly. Yeah. Like, I don't know what could have been said before that, but you should never say that. Like,
right. It shouldn't get escalated to that.
Punch the guy if he's saying things that you should use words like that. Or let's everybody be adults and go tell security. Like the Ryan Caldwell guy, if he was too hammered to do that.
Right. And why are you going at the woman in the situation? Like, just go to just keep it to the guy with the body camera.
Yeah, I should Philly Loyal. I'm gonna try to find it because I saw he was on NBC 10, and it like this guy is such a loser, like a stone. He's from Pennsylvania, and my wife's complaining that I'm screaming. I'm loud. He's from Pennsylvania. He's a Packers fan, and he's got a YouTube channel that, I mean, yeah, I don't know how. The things that I read was like he's not great, and he's not like, if he would have been this clever influencer that said, "Hey, I'm a Packer fan," or a clever YouTuber, I'm a Packer fan. I'm gonna put a GoPro on me, and I'm gonna go to a game wearing Packer stuff, and then you edit it and you make it funny. Or you don't cost somebody their life, even if he it's hard to feel bad for him when you watch that video.
Of course.
But if the true reason why he's this YouTube guy and he has that, why would you do that? Why would you put just that out there? I think it's only fair. This guy he looks like the biggest creep in America. Eagles fans are getting crushed for it. Chris Carter's ripping Eagles fans now. I saw tonight.
We're going to get crushed regardless.
I know. See, here's part of the problem. That I think I've said this to you on here many times. I don't go to Eagles games for that reason, because of that guy. Yep. Those guys are all over the place.
Yep.
I'm not going to sit here and bullshit everybody and act like
what happened. I had a guy at the Thursday night game that I was ready to, Erica was dragging me. I wasn't even involved in this situation. I saw this guy was talking in front of an 8-year-old, and I wanted to hit him, and Erica's dragging me away from him, and I wasn't even involved.
Yeah. No, that guy, I've seen that guy, this dude that got fired. I've seen that guy at games since I started going to games for 25 years. I've been in games where that guy has gotten thrown out because he was just yapping and they don't shut up. And if a Packer fan wants to come and watch a game, even a playoff game, you can have some fun with them. And everybody understands this. Without that, you don't need to do that. And there's too many people down at these games that do that. With that being said, this is an NFL problem, and this isn't just an Eagles problem. People get drunk and get violent and get in fights all over the NFL, more than we've seen in Lincoln Financial Field. That's for sure. Monday or a Tuesday after every NFL weekend, 49ers fans, Chick fans fighting, Cowboys fans fight. Like every week, you saw different fight videos that are out there. So I'm not going to sit here and act like that. But this is the problem. Something just the Eagles fans.
But that's the problem. That's what it gets turned into. It turns into, oh, this only happens in Philly, and it's like, no, it doesn't. And it turns into this bias that for some reason our community, our city can't ever let go of, or can never be relieved of.
It's the reputation, and then you get one video, and it's like, oh, they're all trash. And I mean, honestly, I would probably say that there's more idiot Eagles fans like that than your average football fan base. But I'm also not stupid. I've been to games where I was at a Buccaneers game. It was the first game after they won the Super Bowl that Deshaun had a maniac day for the Bucs. I had one guy in the concourse that I thought he was going to fight me. He was a Tampa redneck, long hair, and he was drunk and he was pissed. And I was with my wife. I wasn't with a bunch of dudes. And I was like, man, get me the hell out of here with these people. But it's only fair at this point based on this guy losing his job and his livelihood. And he is saying that this is not really what happened, that there needs to be something else shown for other context. If that's the case, this dude should just release it. Why shouldn't he?
Right. If his story's accurate, he has nothing to lose by just showing everything that happened and just being like, all right, well, this is the guy, how he reacted to whatever I did. It's like, it still doesn't justify it.
Nope. No. And Jess, let me make this very clear. I don't feel bad for this guy. But then when I think about it, it's like, all right, he didn't hit the guy with a lead pipe or anything.
It wasn't the guy at the Flyers fan against the two-piece and the guys in the Leafs jerseys.
All right, you got to give me a second. Maybe put up some comments or whatever. I got to go get my my AirPods.
Go ahead, go for it. Do your thing. Well, on that note, but on the game side, what was the opinions of you guys for how they played, how they looked? Let's see where they go from there. I thought it was of all the wild card games this weekend, I thought it was one of the more boring ones, personally. The defense looked great, obviously, but offensive wise, they produced, but it wasn't exactly what they were talking. Oh, wait, let's see. The Flyers. Back to the Flyers game the other night. Sorry, totally trading thought process. Flyers game was awesome the other night, but the Drysdale or the Ducks game against Cochier, Drysdale scoring in a revenge game was awesome. The building was electric. You would have thought it was a playoff game. It's really unfortunate that we don't get games like that for playoffs wise in a long time. There he is. He's back.
Let me see.
But no, you can hear me now? Maybe.
No, it's all cut. No, I can't get anything. All right, let me try this and I'm just going to quit. No, because I couldn't find my AirPods upstairs. I don't know where the hell they are. I don't have time to be looking around the house for them. Jesus Christ. All right, whatever. Yes, I heard you talking about the game. Yeah, they played like crap, and they were fortunate to beat the Packers. Fortunate the Packers were beat up and they suck, and the defense played good. And I'm not worried about it one friggin' second.
No, we already kind of showed how we dominated the Rams last time. I think we just kind of run that same script and at home, outside in January. I mean, Matthew Stafford has been an indoor quarterback for his entire career. So I'm not too worried yet at the moment. I'd much rather play the Rams than the Bucs. So that was pretty good.
All right, there you go. See, like people are complaining that I came in and I stole you were like on a roll and I just came right back down.
I completely forgot. Didn't even get someone said, how was the Flyers game? And I'm like, oh yeah, let's talk about that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
That looked like a lot of fun.
Oh, it was so much fun. You want to talk about drunk, obnoxious fans? That was me and my friends at the game.
Yeah, it sure seemed like that. Sure seemed like the people were enjoying themselves. And
I had no voice by Sunday morning whatsoever.
That's awesome. All right, hold on a second. No, this might be. Oh, so never mind. I had a lot of stuff, and then this stuff just happened right here. I had Bryce Harper, the barista. Have you seen that?
No.
Bryce Harper's all over his TikTok and social media.
I did see he was doing a
coffee.
TikTok thing though.
Yeah, it was going to get shut down. I think they're threatening they're going to shut it down over the weekend. TikTok. So
oh, darn.
Anyway,
I'll be so sad.
But this and I don't understand this. The guy's employer, like this, the business puts out the statement, and it's like, all right, I guess they had to put out a statement, but it was just like, it's just too much, like you don't need to, I don't need to, he's like, they're like you just fired him. What do you mean that you're gonna, like, you're there for him in his hour of need, or however they said it? But anyway, so they do something with TMZ that I saw. God damn it, I can't believe I can't find it. I had put this in my phone because I'm like, all right, this is pretty interesting. Let me check one more place, and then I could just really Google it. But yeah, so like the business goes on TMZ. Why would you do that?
Free pub.
But so no, he's mad, but he's mad. Do you know what people started doing? They were going to Google and to Yelp and leaving crappy reviews, like one star reviews. He's mad about that, and it's like, dude, you just get him removed.
Right. It's like, if it has nothing to do with your business, then it's not hard to get that stuff taken off.
No, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry.
I'm sure we could go through. I mean, shit, we could go through any business and be like, oh, you pick out this person, this person, this person. I'm sure like they have a checkered past and said something that they regret or don't want anyone knowing they said. It's like, I mean, every business in America can say that.
So and the Packer loser was also using the F word, derogatory towards gays, but like 10, 11 years ago, because there was one Twitter person out there who was like, look at this, and he like tweeted it like 1,000 times, and it's like, all right, like he used that word in 2014 and 2015 like 4 times at people, and it's like, yeah, it's like a crappy thing to say, but did he use it last week or 5 years ago? And he didn't. So it's like, all right, bro, like, I mean, he could have been like 15 years old, or he could have been 18 years old and an idiot like some of us were.
Yep. But I can verify that for myself, speaking for myself.
Yep.
And somebody puts their foot in their mouth on a regular basis.
Yep. Well, there you go. That's the late breaking news. So everybody agrees that this Packer hammerhead should have to release all the footage. I mean, you can't legally make him do it, but still, like, otherwise he looks like a total loser.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, look, either way, like we said, no matter what comes out on the beforehand, the guy's wrong in the wrong for what he said after the fact. But it's like, it'd be nice to know what the whole story is. It's like that, see if it's not unprovoked sort of thing.
But like, so Oz says it doesn't matter. They ruined the dude's life, and it's like, all right, like I agree with part of that, but like, all right, so what if there was video that comes out where the guy was really instigating them, and like, or like they were obviously egging him on, and the camera that's around him and everything else, right? Like if he was obviously being instigated and he just did take the bait, and it's like, all right, you shouldn't have used those words, but this Packers guy, because the way it was portrayed was, oh, poor innocent Packer lady that's just sitting there trying to watch the game, and this mean drunk Eagles fan is calling her the C word and ugly, right? So it's like, yeah, from that context, of course, like no one should ever talk to him again. He should be fired. But like, listen, if that wasn't the case and it was like, all right, this guy's a creep too, like I'm gonna feel a little bit different about it, right?
I mean, I feel like you don't go to a game with a body cam on without anticipating catching something like intentionally, you know?
Yeah. See, I gotta, Josh, I gotta like, I agree and disagree with you here. I think it is horrible that his entire, like he's got a wife and at least one daughter, because of course I saw her online. Everybody's got to expose his family too. But, you know, if you're if you're a business, especially one that works with the public and is a consulting company, and is known as a DEI company, so they're all about it in diversity and integrity and equity. And this video is out there. Good luck him not getting fired.
Right. You kind of are obligated to at that point.
He's not a landscaper. He's not working at the garage or anything like that. And it's like, he's been connected to the business. So anybody that's doing business with this place might be like, oh, we do business with them. Right. Like you just, unfortunately, I don't know what else you could do if it was the business. It'd be tough. You'd really have to have some stones and come out and say, this looks terrible. We're shocked that he used that language, but we know him to be a great guy, and this is not his character, and this is not him. Do you remember when Tom Byrne, in the cab driver many years ago? Do you remember this? You remember Tom Byrne?
Nope.
You don't remember him at all? So Tom was early 9:50 a.m. and then he was 97.5, and he was nights. He was nights, and Tom was really good, but he was also he was definitely like a Brody, like a Hunter Broads. He was very much like talking sports, all about sports. He got strong opinions. I thought he was very good. He's a Conwell Egan guy.
Okay.
But so he was like drunk in a cab. Here it is. So as the story goes, Byrne, who turns 31, was arrested 2 a.m. Monday after a cab driver told police he'd been punched repeatedly by Byrne, who he picked up a few minutes earlier. Driver told police Byrne asked him to pull over at 6th and Pine, at which point he began to get out of the car without paying. When the driver asked him for payment, he said, "I'm a celebrity. This is my neighborhood. What are you going to do about it?" After the driver began to follow Byrne down the street, Byrne grabbed the complainant's glasses, knocked them off his face. Defendant punched complainant in face several times and dragged him. So if you ever met Tom Byrne, he would never, ever, 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 ever do that sober. Tom Byrne is a great dude. And he got wasted and didn't know what he was doing. And the station didn't fire him. And that was in Dan Gross's column in the Daily News. And man, if it happened today, it's such a different world today. Because that happened.
There's no way he survives that today.
But then it did go viral, but going viral in like 2013 is a lot different than going viral now. But the station didn't fire him because Tom was a great dude. Tom is a good dude. He is a great dude. And I was so happy the station had the balls, and it was really Matt Nahagin, the program director, and John Fulham, the market manager, that said, you know what? No, we're not going to fire him. And if it happens today, I don't know if he keeps his job, but still, like, I was impressed, and it was the right move to make. It was. And if this was a good, like, the problem is they're a business, and when you use those words, man, it was bad. So
yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was just like, yeah, there's no coming back from this. This dude's, and then like you said, then you find out he has a daughter, and it's like, all right, well, Matt, imagine if that was your daughter sitting there, and you heard someone talking to your daughter.
Yeah, he's despicable.
Even talking in front of your daughter that way.
Even if this Packers guy was instigating him, he's still a loser for the way he was talking. Like a stone.
I mean, there's plenty of ways to rebuke whatever he happened beforehand without going to that. Like, you get we talk about this all the time, like where you can go on these games or go to these games and have banter and have a conversation and go back and forth with people. And yeah, can it get testy? Of course it can, but like, you don't have to disrespect people like when you're doing it. Like, you could, like, if you keep it to fan base, like keep it to that kind of stuff, like no personal shots and to just fandom and stuff like that, then it's all fun and games. But as soon as you get personal and you cross that line, it's, you can't really come back from it.
Nope. And it typically happens, at least it did for me. The fans got aggressive when their team started winning. I was in San Diego Chargers. This guy, he didn't start with me, but there's a loudmouth guy that I went out. It was an Eagles Chargers game, 2007. It's a loudmouth guy that I went out that was friends with my friend. Like, I knew him, but we weren't necessarily friends.
Yeah.
And he was really annoying at the
friend
game.
Of a friend.
Really annoying. And like a good guy, but drunk and really annoying. But he wasn't attacking the fan. He wasn't saying anything to the fan in front of us. He was just being an obnoxious Eagle fan. And man, they got a first down. The Chargers got a first down in the fourth quarter to seal it. And this guy turned around, and we hadn't even like talked to him at all the entire game. He turned around and he was like up in our face, like spitting, and like not spitting, but like spitting words and like what are you? He went crazy. And then this dude started saying he's like, yeah, your girlfriend's fat and ugly. I'm just like, oh my God, like get me out of here. Like the friend of a friend. So yeah. So and that was like, at that point, I'd never been in any type of aggressive altercation at a game. So I don't know. It was weird. And it's why I don't go down to the games. That stuff happens way too much. And it's almost all because of alcohol.
I think you could probably go to every game every week and find something like this if everybody had a body cam on. I don't think this is just special in Philly or it only happens here. I think it happens everywhere, and that's an unfortunate thing to say. It's just the truth of it.
It's 2009. Thank you, Vince. I guess that's who I was working with.
Dude, Vince is a freaking encyclopedia of like all these.
Honestly, bro, I want to hire him. I want to hire him to come in and be like
your fact checker.
He could easily be a part of the show with his institutional knowledge that he has in sports radio. Vince and I would argue with anybody. If there's anybody out there that has followed local media, sports radio, etc., more than me or Vince. He knows it all. He knows it all. He's a sicko. All right, so we have that whole thing, and we'll see. Because I am now demanding that this person demanding it.
I think you'll be waiting a long time.
The Packers fan hasn't tweeted in 2 days. My guess is he's talked to a crisis attorney, which I've used in the past. You're right. He needs to release the entire video, which includes any conversations about baiting people. Like this could be, and appreciate the guy that just sent DM this to me on Twitter. You could eat like if this was proven that he releases everything and it's like, hang on a second, like this is bull. He could sue him, right? I mean, I don't see why not. He's got to release that whole thing, man.
I mean, I don't know. I definitely don't know enough about that kind of stuff. It just seems like it's like, is it one of those things that's like, all right, just because you were poked, like, all right, just because someone called you an asshole or something doesn't mean you get to shoot them. Like, you know what I mean? It's right. Like, I don't know how it would work for a situation like this.
Yeah, the Philly aspect is annoying, but also I've been to enough games. This isn't 1998 in the 700 level when I had season tickets there. Like this is Lincoln Financial Field, and that stuff goes on a lot. I don't even know how many games I've been to in the Link. It's not a whole heck of a lot. Now maybe probably double digits still, but like I see that stuff all the time. People walking in when you're waiting to get through the gates to get through. If you have an opposing jersey on, you're getting heckled. You're getting stuff thrown at you. I see it all. I mean, I've seen it every game. So, and trust me, it's not like that everywhere. Now, like there's a lot of violence at some games. So like, I think there's less fights at Eagles games than there is harassing. People are scared, as they should be. I mean, this jerk off went in, his whole GoFundMe page more or less said that he had been there before and he had gotten harassed the whole time and stuff thrown at him and all this other stuff. So like he knew exactly what he was going into. And when you go in with a GoPro on your chest, not even like taking pictures or videos with your phone, it's like, I wish it's a great idea to do it in the right way and in good taste. I don't know, to put something out there entertaining, not cherry pick 45 seconds of something where this guy's just like, there was nothing to it other than, oh my God, this guy's a total dirtbag. Eagles fans are the worst. And that's what sucks because it's not fair.
I couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, there you go. And by the way, I got to get rid of this comment. This should be a wake-up call for all Eagles fans out there. Don't act like an asshole at these games like that.
Yeah, it's that simple. Just go down and have some drinks and have fun.
He broke no laws. He'll never be like he literally like he didn't hit her with a a pipe or anything like that. He didn't punch her. Call her the C word. And it was dead. And like I'm not surprised in 2025 that he got whacked. But just think about that. He went to that game on Sunday thinking he was going to have a great time and the Eagles are going to win. And now it's Wednesday night and his whole life is turned upside down. Which, you know what? Like, all right. But just be careful. So there's that with Eagles fans, because you can easily, and you can get baited into it too. You can easily do that, but just like take a step back and look at it. All right. Even if you like, just leave the other fans alone. Don't throw stuff at them. Don't throw beer at them. Just leave them alone. Jesus.
I obviously completely agree with that. We've discussed that before on here, but it's just like you see, like you obviously knew the guy had a camera on too. Like, how stupid are you? Like, do you think the guy was just going to be like, "Oh, I heard you say that, and I'm not going to do anything with it"? Like, he clearly went with he displayed it on his chest. Like, it wasn't like some hidden thing. And
right,
like,
it wasn't hidden.
"Oh, I got you." It's like, no, like, dude, he had a camera on you, and you're an idiot, and just like went and stuffed your foot as far as you could into your mouth. It's like, and said probably like, I mean, there's a whole list of things you can't say, but that's probably close to the top of it.
Unbelievable.
All
right.
I don't have sympathy for the guy, but it's just, I mean, I would like to know the full story.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, this Packer fan is a loser. A loser. Oh, my sister's cat. I don't normally do this, but she fosters cats. Oh, my dog has cancer. Has anybody with any sense of dignity or class or self-awareness, like, all right, if I had something serious that happened, right? Like my buddy's wife passed away with breast cancer, and he didn't start it, but people started a GoFundMe so they could like take care of the kid's college fund and everything like that. And it's like perfectly fine. I want to go to a Packers game and represent the Packers, and I feel great about it. Like, you're doing a GoFundMe page for that, for your dog that has cancer. How about getting a job, you jack off, you loser? Go drive Uber for a couple of extra nights to pay for it. God, I hate this guy. What a loser. And that's why I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit more to it. Not that it's going to change it for that dude, but at least it would give you a clearer picture of what actually happened. And it's amazing that it's the same section as Erica's tickets.
Yeah, it was 3 rows behind her.
So they didn't know what was going on.
No.
So it wasn't like this big to do, right? Like, they didn't know what was going on.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Oh my God. My name is Alex, but you may know me as Bass-Araski Productions on YouTube, or simply Bass. Packers are heading to the playoffs, and we're going into Philly this next Sunday to take on the number 2 seed Eagles. Things are gloomy right now in Packer fandom, but one this is for certain. It's an error. I'm still confident and believe in this team. If you didn't know, I'm born and raised in PA, and actually an hour from the Eagles Stadium. So I ask of you, the fans, send me to Philly. Send me into the belly of the beast. I've done it multiple times, repping the Packers proud, and I'm fully ready to do it again. I've been cursed at, stuff thrown at me, and even my first ever cheese head ripped off my head and thrown into a fire bin while supporting my team in Philly. But I'm sure as hell not scared to do it again. There you go.
I mean, honestly, it's like everything I was seeing on Twitter before the game was talking about like how cool the Packers fans were. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's not like the fan base we even screw with either.
I don't want to. So I spent like 45 minutes or 40 minutes talking about this, but it's a fascinating story. They were talking about it this morning in the show that I check in on, the Junkies in Washington. Boston radio was talking about it this morning. Like, this is a big story. I mean, it's gone mainstream. TMZ's talking to everybody.
Right.
Pretty interesting. But the game itself, unimpressive win for the Eagles, and I don't care because it has nothing to do with this week. So it's funny. Everybody was talking about how Hurts is going to be rusty. They might lose the game.
And then when he was rusty, it's a big deal.
He's rusty, but they won the game by 12 points.
Right.
So we shouldn't be surprised he was rusty. I'm not surprised he was rusty. They won the game by double digits. He can't be rusty this week. He can't be rusty against Detroit. He can't be shitty against Detroit. Yeah, they played the exact game that I thought they were going to, which was unimpressive, but they're the better team. And the Packers were banged up too. Their line was banged up. Their wide receivers were banged up.
Every other play was someone was dropping like a fly.
Yep.
I was saying when you were gone, I was like, I thought it was one of them. It was easily the most boring game of the weekend.
Oh my God.
Like it was a long game, was long as hell. There was so many stoppages. And then it wasn't even like you said, like it was just an ugly, grind it out, get the win, and go home kind of game. Like there was no excitement to like. Yeah, it was cool. Like the most exciting play of the game was the first play, the kickoff. Like getting all riled up, getting the touchdown, and then it kind of just was like downhill from there.
Yeah, I was just happy it was over, that the game was over. How about the Dallas Goedert, the individual effort on Dallas Goedert? Because that was not a well-thrown ball.
No.
It was just to catch it was impressive.
Oh,
and then he manhandled that defensive back.
He was facing the opposite way, and he was facing the inside. The ball's thrown outside, stumble, catch it, and then just triple stiff arm this guy to the end zone.
God, and he played a good chunk in that Giants game. I'm glad he did. You forget what kind of a weapon he is when they use him.
They don't utilize him nearly enough.
They don't. Nope, no. They don't. And then you have AJ Brown on the sideline reading a book, which
I thought was hilarious.
Well, like I don't have a problem with it because I've just never. I don't think anybody's ever seen it before.
I forget who had the picture of it. Someone had a picture of him walking into the game in Baltimore with the book in his hand, like. So it's like he's obviously done it before, but he was just like he was genuinely surprised that they finally caught him like on camera doing it.
So Jalen after the game had said that he normally just has it. He doesn't read it on the bench. It's like do you know Linus? Do you know Snoopy and Linus?
Yeah.
Okay. So Linus had the blanket. Yep. When I was a little kid, I had a blanket, and my mom would have to take it from me to wash it because I would freak out. If she would do it, we'd go over to my grandmother's house, and she'd go to the laundromat to do laundry. And when I found out that I called it Cubby, when Cubby wasn't there, I would go nuts. So she would say, "It's at the laundromat. It's in the dryer. It's in the dryer." And it feels like that's his blanket. Where it's like because he gets one target for 10 yards and he's reading the book, he's trying to calm himself down so he doesn't go crazy.
Right. I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah, so let me because he was asked about it today after a couple of days.
And I love how it's like the number one selling book because Eagles fans are nuts.
No, but did you see how much it went up?
No.
What was the name of it again?
AJ
Vince? Brown. How much did it go up? It went up like 563 million%.
Really?
That's the thing I saw on Twitter. Now maybe it was a bogus tweet. But I don't even know because if it's
we love falling for tweets on this show. Inner excellence.
Inner excellence. How much did it go up percentage wise?
Thank you.
Because all right, so if it's sold like one book in the last 6 months, it went up 53 million%.
That's insane.
In 12 hours, it went up 53 million%. So if it went from selling 2 books in 6 months to being number one on the Amazon list, it went up 53 million%.
That guy should write a check to AJ Brown.
Dude, isn't it crazy how things work? These are one of these things where it's cool. This is a really, really cool story. So AJ was asked about it today after everything happened and everybody went crazy over it. Let me see if I can actually make this. This is from Elliot's Twitter, by the way. Man, ESP. So hold on. All right, let's share it. Here we go.
To you reading the book on the sideline. It's number one on Amazon now. Just what's your reaction to, I guess, all the craziness about it?
A lot, but none of that stuff really matters. I'm gonna continue to be myself and not pretend. It's not a facade or anything. So, who cares if don't like it, I'm a 3-time All-Pro. Yes, I'm gonna pop my shit. That is what it is. That is what it is. I do that for myself. I don't care about it. I'm not a distraction. So most importantly, I go out there and do my job. So all the other shit, it don't matter.
Are you surprised about the influence you have, though? There's been a lot of reactions.
All right, so
you reading the book on the sideline, number one on Amazon.
Yeah, AJ, other than maybe one of the the FS1 guys, I don't know, one of the guys on FS1, a former player that you could tell it's like, okay, you have to be the sacrificial lamb and have a problem with it. And he had said that I'd never seen that on the sideline before, but then he was mad that he was doing it or whatever. feels like it's a like 95% positive story. I haven't heard a lot of people mad about it. People like it.
No, I haven't heard it. I mean, if anything, I just hear people like laughing about it, like find it fun. Like if anything, like find it humorous that that's what he's doing on the sideline. It's like they all know that he's pissed off that he's got 1 catch and 3 targets for 10 yards, and like that's what he's gonna do instead of free. Like everyone knows like what's going on. So like I just thought like people found it funny like that was his release to not lose it on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's just we've never seen anything.
Well, let's put it like this. If the game was 22-10 Packers and he had 3 targets for 1 catch for 10 yards, he wouldn't be reading the damn book. He'd be popping off on the sidelines being like, get me the ball. This is why we're losing the game.
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of the context of the game. Like if that's a close game, it's probably the story's probably a little different.
All right. Well, how do you feel about the game? So in a lot of times I look to the point spread, right? Like for example, I was really interested in what the Ravens point spread was going to be against the Bills because Baltimore looked really good. The Bills look good, but Baltimore's been rolling and they seem like they're the hot team, or at least that's what a lot of people think. And it came out that they were 1-point underdogs, which moved to a pick'em, which moved to now they're 1-point favorites. I haven't checked it this afternoon. And I was like, all right, I thought that's what they were going to do. I was curious to see what they were going to do with the Eagles line. A solid 6 right off the bat. So it was like, all right, but Vegas doesn't think this is going to be an upset. And the Rams, because, the Rams look good. Rams look good.
If you ask me who I wanted out of the 3 teams going into Monday night or going into, what was that? I guess, Monday night if it would have been, or if the Bucs had won Sunday night, I'm like, yeah, give me the Rams 100% as the number 1 team I want to face. But then he's like, you see how the Rams just dismantled the Vikings. Like, I mean, my Florida State boys, Jared Verse and Fisk, are dominating on that defensive line. But it's like our offensive line is obviously clearly better than the Vikings. So I'm not worried. Like, if 100% would have picked the Rams as the team I wanted to play. We already proven that we can dominate them because Saquon had his highest career rushing total in the game against them earlier this year.
Yep.
Now it's, like I said earlier, game in January against Matthew Stafford. That's been an indoor quarterback his whole career. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's like probably one of the best that I've seen in my as an adult lifetime. But it's like I think we have the advantages, and 6 points sounds about right.
Vince says it's up to 6.5. I don't know if I have to check the Bet Parks app because that's of course where I do all of my gaming. I wouldn't be surprised if it went up to 7 at all. I mean, like short week. That was the Monday night game. They got to fly away across the country, and the defensive line was dominant. And how much of that was Sam Darnold seeing ghosts? Sam Darnold he finally turned back into Sam Darnold.
I literally said that right up, like in the middle of watching that game. I'm like, this is Sam Darnold in New York Jets seeing ghosts right now. It's like, dude, just throw the ball away so many times. Like, he had every opportunity in the world to do it. But the thing is, our quarterback kind of does the same thing where he holds onto the ball a little too long. And it's like, but obviously the rush isn't going to be getting to Hurts as quick as it was getting to Darnold because our offensive line is significantly better.
Yes.
But it's just a matter of, all right, yes, we say all that. And then it gets into the game, it gets into practice. And then if Jalen Hurts holds the ball, is trying to make plays when there's nothing there, then we can end up in the same situation. But I don't believe that's going to happen.
Justin in Tennessee, what's up, feller?
What's up, Justin?
It's going to be colder than a witch's titty and a steel bra laying face down in the snow. Let's got this.
Yeah, I do have 6.5 on FanDuel too. So
6 on the Bet Parks app. So you know what? Get to the Bet Parks app because you're not getting that hook.
I mean, high of 37, 50% chance of snow on Sunday.
It's supposed to snow.
I love a nice playoff snow game.
Well, the way the Eagles run the ball, sure. Yeah, I mean, so I'll say this. I will be shocked if the Eagles don't win this game. Shocked.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Shocked. Here's how they lose this game. Hurts sucks, and McVay coaches the pants off of Fangio and Nick Sirianni and everything else.
I mean, he's the best coach in the game.
Is running people over. I just don't see it.
I think, and it's crazy because it's like I think KOC is a great coach for the Vikings. I think look what he did with Sam Darnold. Like no one would have said Sam Darnold was doing that before the season. And honestly, I was surprised at how much he faltered back to what he was beforehand because of how good of Kevin O'Connell's coaching is. But like the difference is Kevin O'Connell came from Sean McVay. Like Sean McVay knows Kevin O'Connell knows how he operates and knows like the way he works. It's like I do think McVay is the best coach in this game tonight or this weekend, but it's like that doesn't necessarily mean he's winning the game because of it. It's just
he's a great offensive coach. He's a schemer. I was watching some video that was out there where he was like, he wanted Puka Nacua so bad, and like everybody was agreeing with him, but like he was, man, like I know how I'm going to use him, and like he's tough and all this other stuff. Puka Nacua is running over. Like I love that dude. He's unbelievable. Like a fullback out there that's fast and catches everything.
And for a 5th round pick, that's a freaking hell of a steal.
Unbelievable. Yeah, like what great scouting. And the Don's correct. Got to stay healthy. He's always nicked up. Slay leaves every game. It's true. Every game he's walking to the locker room.
I feel like I owe Slay an apology for that. Was a beautiful interception. That was one of the nicest. That was the smoothest interception I think I've ever seen in my life on Sunday. But I always dog Slay. I think he's a little bit overrated. But hey, really good game on Sunday.
All right, so give me your final score.
I'm gonna go 24-17.
24-17. All right, so that's a cover.
Picking an under, which is not me.
So is it a like they're in control and
Rams gets up at the end. So I think it's going to be the same script as it was when we played them the first time. I think we're going to just try and run Saquon and get the big plays when we can.
Okay. All right. I just don't need a cardiac fourth quarter. It'd be nice if the offense showed up early and it's not the defense that's kind of holding you in there, and Jalen finally gets something going when they need a drive.
I think Stafford, I really do think Stafford's going to struggle in this game. It's just the Vikings rely on their defense to be relentless and just blitz, and then you get your opportunities to throw on them. We don't have to do those things to disrupt Stafford. He's not going to have the wide open opportunities as he did against the Vikings. And then again, now we're back into 30-degree weather in possibly snow and wind and yada, yada. I think he's a hell of a talented quarterback, but it's just those elements. And then with our defense, we're the number one defense left in the playoffs. I don't have a doubt about that. I know it sucks we lost to Kobe Dean, but it does. It's just I still think we're the best defense left in the NFL, and I will be shocked if the defense doesn't show up again, because I don't I think about that Washington game, and I don't think it would have gotten the away Washington game. I don't think it would have gotten to that point if Hurts didn't get the concussion in that game. But it's Jaden Daniels, with his ability to move and run and avoid pressure, is what makes him special. Makes him special.
Matt Stafford ain't doing that.
Exactly. That's exactly what Matt Stafford is on the dot, and if you can get to the dot, you're going to get him.
Yeah, you watch Daniels. He's a younger, more athletic version of Jalen Hurts. How annoying is it when it's all right, you did your job, no one's open, and he runs around, spins out of pressure, and he runs for 15 yards. And that's what Jalen Hurts. He, like I said, not as athletic and fast, but Hurts beats you with his legs all the time. It's so annoying when another quarterback's doing it. So
think about losing. Think about how we lost the Super Bowl to Mahomes. Mahomes running on a bum ankle, getting 20 yards on a fourth down or whatever it was that play.
Yep.
It's it's the most demoralizing thing ever. I don't think Stafford's got that in the bag against our defense. And the way Quinion and Slay, is Slay healthy for?
Yeah,
Sunday?
He'll be out. He'll leave the game, but he'll be out there, sure.
And I thought Rodgers played great coming in for him.
Steve, you're giving the reason why Jalen Hurts talked today, and he said that and it's really something he should be giving credit for. He doesn't have to go out and throw the ball 35 or 40 times a game.
No.
He's the definition of a game manager that has upside. He's not a game manager because he is limited as a passer, but he's not limited. Like, he's not a limited player because he can hurt you in a couple different ways. But like, he's just like the way that I saw people were calling it a coward draw play that they ran a couple times there on 3rd and long. It's actually smart because Kellen Moore's saying, like, well, like, we're going to win this game with our defense. We're not going to. I don't want them throwing turnovers here. That's how the Packers are going to win this game. Play the long game. We don't have to do this. And he didn't. The one thing that I don't like is that he's gun shy to make throws, and you can see it. Like that AJ Brown. Like, AJ Brown wasn't totally wide open like a lot of people were saying on the fake tush push, but he's thinking about it instead of just letting it fly. And that's how it gets up in the air like it did. He's just not back there. In 2022 in the Super Bowl, he was getting back and he was just letting it fly, man. He was confident throwing the football. And that's the difference. He's not confident throwing the football right now. So what I do against the Rams, and if you remember in that Carolina game where they just won, they were fortunate to win that game. That's when the passing offense sucked. That's when AJ came out afterwards and they said, well, what's the problem? And he said, the passing offense. And then Brandon Graham went on WIP and said that they weren't friends anymore, right? That next week against the Steelers, it was hot and heavy early with AJ and Jalen. They were running slants. They were like, it was Jalen threw for 290 yards that game, and they weren't even throwing in the 4th quarter because they were up. So like they said, hey, we got to dial in the passing game. I think that's what they start off with this week. Get them going early with the passing game.
I will not be complaining.
You will not.
I feel like that should be the game script, like, for this team. Like, everybody talks about, like, oh, you got to, like, run the ball to set up the pass. It's like, no, like, I really think this team doesn't need to set up the run because everybody knows they can run the ball. But it's like, get your shots in with your big, like, talented athletes early, and then just let Saquon kill the clock at the end, like, in the second half. It's like, I'm not saying don't run the ball in the first half. Like, I hate when they go, like, the first quarter and it's like, oh, Saquon only had 2 carries. It's like, I hate that. But it's just like, but take your shots to, like, your big talented receivers with AJ Brown and
do 50-50 balls. He don't want to do it.
It's just like, just take the shot. Like, it's like we joke about the Franklin quote, like, last year. It's like, oh, do you want Allard to just throw the ball up? Like, yeah, no, I actually just want him to throw the ball up and let's see if AJ can go get it. Like,
yeah.
And if he can't, he can't. And it's just like, all right, you're on to the next play. Just, you took your shot.
Yep. Yeah, I'll take AJ Brown over a cornerback that's probably 2 inches shorter. And
if you're lucky, he's only 2 inches shorter. He's probably like 5 inches shorter than him.
Exactly.
And he's got like 60 pounds on these dudes. It feels like
he's a monster. I love AJ Brown.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Jimmy Moe. So, like, OG Wade used to say this, and I would always be like, oh, shut up, OG Wade. But he said that Jalen Hurts is a better football player than he's a quarterback. And he's right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He can win games. Like, I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts, the moment being too big for him. Do I love the fact that when I watch Jalen
I don't think he's going to be McNabb throwing up in the Super Bowl. Ever.
Do we all agree on that? Like, Donovan's biggest issue was he came up small in
his mental
moments. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't question Hurts' mental, like, ability to win these big games. Like he's not Sam Darnold, who just, like, you just had this amazing season and just shrunk in your 2 biggest games of the year. It's like, we've seen Hurts turn it on. He went toe-to-toe with Mahomes, really played better than Mahomes in that Super Bowl, and then Mahomes just made the couple plays that won them the game.
Right. Yeah, no, he played great, but he was a much different throwing quarterback then. But guess what? Like, so, and we'll wrap it up on this, the Eagles conversation. When you beat the Rams, got to beat the Rams still. You go up to Detroit. I don't know if you can. You're gonna need an A Jalen game to win on the road. He doesn't need to throw for 350 yards, but you need an A Jalen game. He needs to make a couple of pops with the pass. Can't be hesitant.
As reliant on your defense as you are, it's still asking a lot of your defense to hold a team like the Lions to 21 points, 24 points.
You run the ball, you control the game, you keep their offense off the field. It's great to be able to run the ball, but you're probably going to have to score over 30 to win that game. I can't imagine
minimum
27 and 20. Yeah, I mean, it's.
I don't see that. It's like same thing with this Commanders game this weekend. It's for the Lions. It's like It's like, if you're telling me the Commanders win that game, I think they need to score 35 at minimum.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's like, we're obviously a better defense than the Commanders. So it's like, yeah, I would say if we don't score 4 touchdowns, we don't win against Detroit in Detroit.
Yeah. All right. Let's, Delco Steve, do you have a last will and testament or a trust or anything like that?
I probably should set one up.
All right. So I didn't. And I've had, this is true. I've had a lot of people. Listen, I just turned 48, right? Who the hell knows, right? And I'm not Thurston Howell the third or anything like that, but I have some, I have 401ks and I have assets and things like that. So trustandwill.com/marks. Trustandwill.com. Instead of going to an attorney and spending a lot more money than you're going to spend right here, trustandwill.com. It's so user-friendly, and you can get a trust or a will at a very, very reasonable price that will scratch everything that you need. All right. Trustandwill.com/marks will get you 10% off. But like, I didn't realize I needed it. But then when you do a little research on it, if you don't set anything up, it doesn't necessarily have to be clean, right? If you have real estate, if you like were married and divorced, or like, you want to make sure you know exactly what is going where, right? If you have properties, if you have 401ks, if you have, even if you don't have a complicated estate or anything like that, which I don't, but still, trustandwill.com/marks. God, you don't want to think about dying, but like, don't you have to prepare for it, right? So I got the will. Yeah. Trustandwill.com/marks. Maybe we'll get you a will there, Delco Steve, sometime soon.
Yeah, I've actually, it was funny because I was just talking about this kind of stuff with my parents, like not for anything in particular, but it's like, yeah, probably should do something about that.
Yeah, you should. You should. You're getting old too there, Delco Steve.
I feel a lot older than what I am.
You do? By the way, I went to, I can't stress enough to you how tired and miserable I felt over the last couple months. Just like coming home, no energy, like definitely going through some depression as well. Life's thrown me some curveballs and a lot of other stuff. My kids have been sick, and fight with my wife all the time or whatever. But I'm trying to remain not doing wife talk on the show. But so I signed up for a class. I've asked you, is it like Orange Theory? And your place isn't like Orange Theory.
No,
like a
more like
place. You're
more like CrossFit. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I have no interest in doing. But so Orange Theory it's in one of the shopping centers by where I live. And I was like, you know what? I didn't want to be the January 1st guy that said, I'm getting into a class. But I was like, all right, because I've been talking about it for a couple months. So I did my free class there today. And
how you feeling?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a very challenging workout, as I thought it was going to be. It was as challenging as the body pump that I did with the old ladies at the Y. It was less weights than that, but they have other classes. Like they have a strength class where you're using weights and bands and things like that. But,
well, you don't have to worry about quitting 2 weeks into the new year because you started 2 weeks late. So there you go.
No, so that's why. So here's what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, in large part, not for social media activity, but for motivation, I want to work out 4 days a week, not 5 days a week. I want to work out 4 days a week for the next 3 months. That's all. I'm not going to say a year or whatever. The next 3 months, I want to work out 4 days a week. If I can do a 5th day, whatever, 4 days a week, the next 3 months, I can do it. And it's not all going to be at Orange Theory. I'm going to do some other workouts or whatever, but yeah, so I'm going to document them. So as proof, and I'm going to put it out there. So I did it today.
Use everyone else to hold you accountable.
Yes. I need accountability. And one of the other things was that they make you give like a debit card or a credit card. It's a free class, but if you don't show up, they tag you for $30 because you're taking up a class. You know what I mean? Like it's limited.
Because you have the spots that you have to sign up for.
So if I didn't, and you can't, you need 12 hours, 24 hours, whatever it is. My kids were up. All 3 of them were up pretty much from 9 p.m. until I just at 4 o'clock said, I got to get up in 15 minutes anyway. Up the entire night between the 3 of them. I was rotating and I would fall asleep in my daughter's room. And then my wife would come wake me up. Like, I can hear you snoring through the monitor. So then I have, like, the other one will wake up that I'm in the other room.
Well, you're in the room. Just turn the monitor off. Like,
but she's like, come to bed. So I go to bed, and then the baby's like, Daddy. So then I gotta go, and then I have her, and then I fall asleep with her in my arms, and then my wife's like shaking me, like, get in bed. And then Lena has a nightmare. So I'm laying in her bed. Honest to God, I was in each of their rooms twice, and then the one 3 times. So I was so tired today, but I got the workout in. I got it done.
Did you feel better?
Oh my God, I felt great. It's all mental with me, man.
It's amazing how that works, though. It really is. It's like, you feel like, I can't tell you how many times I went into like my gym, like ready to put my fist through a wall, and I walk out, I'm like, why was I mad?
Yep. Oh, I felt so good afterwards. I did. I accomplished. I accomplished something. I was tired. I just did this friggin' and they put the heart monitors around you, so they monitor like what your heart rate is or whatever. And because I hadn't worked out in a couple of months, and I haven't done heavy cardio like that, like my heart rate's really high for like.
Didn't think you were having a heart attack.
Workout, yeah. So it's like, hey, you burned 800 calories, and it's like. Yeah, well, like that won't happen all the time because my heart rate was so high.
Do you have like the Apple Watch or something like that?
I have the Apple Watch. Yes, I do.
No. Well, have you ever had it pop up being like you might be having a heart episode? Like,
I have not gotten that high. Really? You have?
One time.
No, I've not.
And it was the Saints Vikings, the Vikings Hail Mary game or Stephon Diggs game, the Minnesota Miracle game. I had so much, like I had all these bets on the Saints winning, and I lost like half of them with that play. And my watch, like I'm literally freaking out because they kicked the extra. If the Vikings had kicked the extra point, I would have lost all the bets. And my watch was literally telling me you might be having a heart episode. And I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what the hell is going on? So never while I was working out, only from gambling.
Stretch. Have you know what a stretch zone is?
Stretch zone? No.
So when I went to, I had a frozen shoulder 3 years ago, and I don't even know how to explain what it is, but it's common in diabetics, and I have a thyroid issue, and it's common in that too. So more or less, like I couldn't get my shoulder above like here.
Okay.
To get the top pantry, the cereal out of the top pantry, I had to get tongs to actually get up there and get it. Seriously, and like you wait for it to go away. We do a Rothman commercial on PHLY on Philly, and it's like it's so true. So it's like I couldn't, and it didn't go away. So I finally said I got to go get this looked at, and I did. I went to Rothman, and it's frozen shoulder. I didn't need an MRI or anything like that. I did physical therapy for 6 weeks, and a lot of it was stretching. And I am like literally the most unflexible person in the world. I am. I touch
right
my
there
toes. I can barely touch my knees. Right.
I can touch my toes, but that's where my flexibility ends.
They stretched me like it hurt, man. And I was going 5 days a week, and I like pretty quickly. And you're trying to get your range of motion back, and I still don't have it all the way back. But like, so then they're like, yeah, if you want to continue doing this, my PT girl, she said stretch zone is really good. There's one up in the shopping center by us, and I never did it, but people love these stretch things, man. I mean, it's what what's his name? Tom Brady used to do with that Alex Guerrero cat. Oh. It was like pliability and stretching and all this other stuff, and it makes sense. So I don't know.
I would give it a go. I'll try anything like that, like once, and if I hate it, I hate it. It's about it.
All right, what else do we have here? By the way, just also, Bryce Harper put out another TikTok tonight. He's like putting out TikToks every day now.
Yeah, the only time the one chick in the afternoon on XTU was talking about all his TikTok exploits and all.
Nicole?
Yeah.
She you know they're going to shut down TikTok supposedly.
Yeah, I think that's how it kind of came out. Yeah. I wasn't totally tuned in. I don't even remember what I was doing at the time.
I just can't do it.
TikTok? No.
I have an account and I put stuff up on there, but
I have an account just so when all my friends send me TikToks, I can just watch it easily. And like the videos that are good out there for like sports videos and things like that. But I don't know, like I'm putting like some take I have on like shut up about the Eagles. They're fine, right?
And then like I post it, and then the next video that comes up is some chick shaking her cans in like a 15-second video. And it has 1 million views. You know what I mean? And it's like, what am I doing here?
Well, my thing with TikTok is it's just like, if you wait a week, it's going to be on Instagram. So why do I have to, if I'm going to scroll through TikTok and then I'm going to scroll through Instagram, everything I saw on TikTok, I'm just going to see on Instagram a few days later. So
right.
I'll just see it eventually.
But it's like learning about now doing the digital stuff, and you learn about the latest trends and everything else. And like, you don't want anything over 60 seconds that you put on Instagram or like TikTok's.
No one's got this attention span anymore.
No one. So that's these TikToks, but I'm like, all right, I don't know what that's supposed to sound like. To like, what am I clipping that's 10 seconds? Is it something out of context? Is it I don't even know. I don't know, but that's what I said to my personal intern that I have, Dalton. I tell him, I'm like, you're the young kid. You're supposed to know what it is. I'm like, just think, like, find something. It doesn't, like, I don't even know. So anyway, there you go.
I won't be sad if it's gone in a week.
No,
no,
me neither. No, actually, it would be. Yeah, but those, how those influencers are shitting their pants. They're making so much money off of what they're doing, and now you're going to take it away from them. It's like when they took OnlyFans away for like a couple days.
Yeah.
You get some chick that's making $1 million a year shaking the cans because she's hot and getting naked.
Yeah, they're making those girls. There's like the one chick makes like $5.2 million a year or something like that.
No, that's the probably 0.1%.
And I'm like, it must be nice to be hot.
Man, I say
and have no morals.
I say it to my wife all the time. Like you legit, like, even now, but when you were younger, like you literally could have been a millionaire if you just went. I mean, some of these girls don't even get naked, but they just have like, like the
I think the girl who makes 5.2 doesn't get naked at all.
God,
I don't know.
What has this world become? And I got 3 daughters that are going to be right in the teeth of all the nonsense. Jesus Christ, man.
And then how do you be like, no, don't do that. Don't go make millions of dollars and steal these dumbasses' money because they're stupid. Like, and they don't get enough attention from their own wives. It's like obviously don't, but like, someone wants to give me $1 million to shake my ass, I'll do it.
Oh, I didn't even. I just got my Google alert. I didn't realize that Awful Announcing wrote up that I questioned the fan's fiance's actions around the viral incident.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I mean, all I said was like, hang on a second. I don't even know what I said. Let's read the article right here. The vulgar Eagles fan is clearly a POS, but the Packers fiance who filmed the incident has a lot going on. How much did he instigate this? Look at his attitude going into the link. He was wearing a body camera to video stuff for content. He also has multiple GoFundMe pages to pay for his travel to Packers games, etc. Need more info, but it feels like we've been manipulated by this dude. I agree.
That's what Awful Announcing said?
Yeah, well, that was my tweet that they put in there.
Right.
That they did a post on.
Okay.
I get Google alerts for in case I say something stupid. And I'm like, why are people freaking out? Like, oh, I guess that's
probably a good idea.
Yeah, it is. I never yeah. That's very interesting. All right. Well, Sixers lost tonight. Who cares? They actually got it to
I gotta ask your opinion on last night. What do you think about Maxey and George getting scratched like 20 minutes before the game starts?
I want the process back. I want a bunch of no names and young players. I'm so done. It was the most fun I have. When McClain went out for the season, and he's now out for the season. I'm just trying to see when Jared McCain went out for the season, it was like he was even when they were losing games early. It's like, all right, at least with McCain and Maxey, like it's fun to watch, and you have like a young player that has great energy, and it's like, wow, like all right, like this is something we're not going to win anything like this right now, but now you have a couple players. It's like, you know what, we can win with these guys. We just need more. And then like Embiid slops, he's back in, right? And then he breaks his face. Now he's got a sprained foot. He's missed 6 games. Paul George is totally cooked. He's hurt. And they sit him out an hour before the game. Like, my takeaway from last night was I love the fact that the process Sixers, at least for one night, because that's what I want. Daryl Morey has created a total shitstorm with this team. And it's embarrassing. And this guy is Daryl Morey is a total fraud for what he has made this team into. And the fact that 76ers fans who have been treated like shit for so long, this is a team that's been in one finals in 42 years. Yep. One finals in 42 years. They went through the entire process. And an hour before tip-off, they're told, hey, by the way, nobody's playing tonight.
Right. Imagine if you're already down there. Like, you're going down there. You already spent money on the tickets. And
you're already pot committed.
Yep.
I
mean, it's cool you were playing the Thunder at least, and it's like you get to go see a good team, but I'd rather see my team, like, compete with a good team.
I'm telling you, they sat them because it's back-to-back, so they looked at the more important game as
100%
against the Knicks. And I saw a picture that was like 5 minutes before tip-off. The place was completely empty. So
Tonight.
And they were booing. Yeah, they were getting beat early, and they were getting booed pretty bad. But I feel bad for 76ers fans that go out, and it's an NBA problem in itself because there's a lot of load management that goes on, and it's hard to blame the teams because they're just trying to win a championship. And if they feel like this gives them a better chance and it gives the players a better chance to be better in the playoffs, then that's what they're going to do. But when you're buying tickets to a game and maybe it's 1 game, maybe it's 2 games, maybe it's 3 games, and you're not seeing any of the star players. They G Leaguers playing last night. Literally, it was a team of G Leaguers for the Sixers.
Yeah, they got to do something like reimbursement wise, like, because like you buy this, because that's a game. Like, last night's game is a game you could have bought months in advance. Like, oh, I want to see SGA. I want to see Chet Holmgren, yada, 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 yada. I know Chet's out, but not the point. But like, you could have bought that before those guys are hurt. And you're like, oh, that's going to be a good game against one of the best teams in the league. I want to see that game. And then just because it's a back-to-back against the Knicks, like, you get screwed out of seeing a good product. Like, if you paid full price for those tickets beforehand, it's not your fault that they all got sat. Like, they're healthy. They're playing. Like, they played tonight. They were okay to play last night. They just didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Silver is, of course, he doesn't want that. And he's been finding teams. And they find the 76ers because of the nonsense they were playing with Embiid at the beginning of the season. But, I mean, man, it's just.
And then you got the whole stadium thing just came out on Sunday.
What was that?
All the hubbub of the downtown, like, just to be like, oh, never mind, we're staying back down South Philly.
And like, all right, so PHLY, it's like, honestly, one of the things that I loved about WIP was I didn't even have to speak about the 76ers unless they did something great or terrible. And sometimes you want them because there's nothing to say about the Eagles and it's a distraction, and then until you get some fresh content, take a couple of days off talking about the 76ers. But for the most part, like, we were so negative on the Sixers, and I've been negative on the Sixers for a long time. I can't stand Joel Embiid. I haven't been able to stand him. He's a great talent, but I haven't been able to stand him for years. And I could kind of ignore him or just rip him. I don't want to do that. I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't want it. I don't want to rip him anymore. I don't want to complain. I don't want to watch him anymore. And then poor 76ers fans that are suckers are, oh, this will be your Paul George. I remember after this, they signed Paul George. I wasn't even trying to have a stupid, I'm not even trying to like play devil's advocate or piss 76ers fans off. I was just like, yeah, they're not as good as the Knicks. What are you guys talking about?
Right.
Not as good as the. I'm like,
they're not okay. Yeah, they're not as good as the second best team. They're not even good. Not even close as good as the second best team. Let alone the first best team in the Celtics. Like, you're not even like, you're the third best team in your division, let alone conference.
I don't get off on the Sixers sucking or anything like that. I don't hate Josh Harris. Any of that. I don't want to deal with this team anymore. I don't. And the fact that, like, you're going on the air and it's like, all right, we're on in the morning. Because honestly, after the Boston game that was at Christmas where they looked so good, it was like, all right, then you'd like feel good about it. And it's like, all right, we're having fun talking about the Sixers a little bit. But then the other 9 times out of 10, it's this.
Right.
And they
I
can't
just
get
feel like they produce so much drama for nothing. Like for no actual success on the field, on the court.
Oh my God. Like just it's unbelievable. But they did take the Knicks to overtime tonight because the guys did play. I think they all played, right? I don't know. I was
Joel didn't.
yeah, I mean, I don't, dude. Like why? Like what? Why? Like why even bother? It's a sprained foot. Paul George 9 of 20, 26 points. Maxey's just shooting a lot of shots. His field goal percentage is that's out of necessity. His field goal percentage can't be great. Justin Edwards, who's a local dude who had a really good game last night, he was good again tonight. 10 points, 2 of 4 from 3. So, and Oubre had a pretty good night too. Like Knicks are a good team.
That Knicks didn't play. Towns didn't play.
They didn't.
No. That dude's been a machine this year.
He sure has. Well, it's a good team.
Oh, it's a real good team in Minnesota. Like, I mean, not that you're going to pick Towns over Edwards, but it's just like they're like, oh, like they went and traded how many 5 first round picks for Rudy Gobert and just kind of totally stifled what Cat can do. Like,
yeah, it was stupid. Jalen Brunson had 38. God, I wish this was my team. They're tough. They got balls.
All the Villanova boys.
Bridges had 23. Yeah. Honestly, like DiVincenzo, I wish he was this. I love DiVincenzo.
I love his like I wouldn't say like attitude, but like I don't want to say it sounded bad. Like I feel like he's got like a positive mean streak to him. Like,
oh, dude, he's got edge, brother. You need edge.
Exactly.
You need guys with edge on your team. Who's got edge on the Sixers?
No one. PJ
Tucker a couple years ago. You had nobody with edge on the team.
But like he wasn't even like the good type of edge. Like he's just like
no, he sucked. No,
like I wanted to like punch him in the face every time he did something. It's like, dude,
like Jimmy Butler's got good edge, right? Maybe not anymore.
Yes.
But Jimmy Butler's got good edge when it's working. DiVincenzo, Brunson has some edge to him too. I mean, he's
like that. What was that? The Knicks
SOB.
That Knicks first Knicks Wolves game where Brunson's or DiVincenzo's going at, was it Brunson's dad?
Rick Brunson,
yeah. Like that. I love it. Like I love it. Like give me all of that.
And Jalen's got to deal with dad and his buddy that he won a national championship with.
Right.
Josh Hart's got it. Josh Hart's got it. So I'm bro, like it's hard for like I am like secretly a Knicks fan. Do I become a Knicks fan? Do I become a heel to become a Knicks fan?
If you come up with a Knicks hat next week, I will lose it.
And everybody hates me.
Well,
yeah, Carl Anthony Towns was wearing the Eagles gear. Brunson's a big Eagles fan.
Love it.
So very good. All right, Delco.
Well, at least they're fans of us.
Oh yeah.
You could say you're supporting them because they support us. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. There's your loophole.
They become a Knicks fan. Well, I was rooting for the Knicks last year if they played the Celtics, and they didn't, right?
Oh, I 100% would have been rooting for the Knicks over the Celtics.
Yeah. No, I was saying openly, I am going to root. I'm going to heavily root and be a fan.
If like, I don't know. I feel like I don't like. I got in the NBA like later in life, but it's just like but even in my lifetime, like the Knicks were like have been irrelevant. Like I feel like this is probably like Carmelo Anthony Knicks were the best Knicks that I watched, and it's like whatever, who cares? Yeah, and it's like so like, I never really had like any vitriol to the Knicks, but like Boston is like my number one hated sports city, like for sure. So give me the Knicks over Celtics any day of the week.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Sixers haven't been good for so long. It's hard to really have a rivalry with anybody. You hate the Knicks because the fans came down last year, and that was really annoying. And they're assholes, those Knicks fans. But yeah, like the Celtics, I hate the Celtics. But like we don't have a team that is even worthy of these rivalries mattering.
Yeah, like they don't look at us as a rival.
All right, last thing, your experience at the Flyers game. Flyers, meanwhile, battling against Florida last night.
2 nights ago, they choked they choked the Columbus last night.
It was Columbus, sorry.
Bullshit. No, the game on Saturday we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. We went down early and watched the Chargers Texans game. Got going on drinks there, and then we weren't out of hand, but all the fu Cutter chants and the Jamie's better chants, and it was a lot of fun. And the team responded with a 6-0 win. It was great. I miss those games, like when it, like, as Tortorella said, it's like the building, like the atmosphere there, like should be like that, but for playoff games and for games that matter down the stretch, not because we're going to boo a 20-year-old.
So hey, Torts, get your team into the playoffs and get them in big games, and the atmosphere will be like that. Christ, I remember. I mean, listen, I've never been like Flyer Stepford fan, as Mike Missinelli called him, for many years, but I was a big Legion of Doom era fan. I love those teams. They were like memorable series against, like, feels like they played the Sabres every year, and there were fights all the time back when hockey was hockey. They couldn't get over the hump against the Devils, but I love those teams. And man, the atmosphere at the Wells Fargo Center was nuts. They're fighting Domi in the box.
My buddy is on the ice crew, like, currently, and I was just like, how was it? Like, we were up in like what was it? They used to be like the Skull Shaver bar, like at the top, like at the top of the second level. Like, we were kind of hanging out up there for most of the time. So, like, obviously it's loud up there. Like, we're in a room pretty much chanting. But I was like, what was it like at ice level? He's like, dude, it was crystal clear, loud as day. Like, you could see the players laughing about it. Like, it was a good time down there on Saturday.
It looked like it. And like, he looked very much a 20-year-old that had no idea what he was getting himself into.
Yeah. I will say it. I was disappointed to see the next night he scored an overtime winner. So that was a little, it's like, it didn't stick with him long enough.
Hey, man, like, I'm sure he's going to be a good player, but he is not going to be looking forward to coming here every year.
Oh, I will be at that game every year for at least the foreseeable future. I can't wait.
Only Tortorella was able to be annoyed about it.
Oh my! Well, he's like, oh, you guys make the stuff up. Like, the media makes the stuff up. We were doing that regardless, and like, kind of you started with stirring the pot with what your comments after the trade last year. So
the organization came out and said that they told the story.
Right.
Like, let's not act like that there wasn't hard feelings over it. There was.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play for the team and didn't really have any reason, or didn't give him a reason.
And we loved him. Like, we supported him. Like, we thought, like, he just won like the best prospect of World Juniors. We were all like sky high excited about this dude being like, get him on the team. And then for him to be traded mid-game against the Penguins, no less. It's just like, and we're like, whoa, what happened? And then it's like, dude, it was like, yeah, like, of course, like, Torch, you should know your fan base. You should know how we're going to react. We don't need anybody else to get us riled up to like take our aggression out on somebody.
God, he is such a.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Such a dick. All right. Well, listen, I may be popping up from time to time on here. I don't know when or where. How long does the hair transplant last? Well, on you, Woody, I'm not sure. I mean, look at my hair. Do I look like I'm having a problem here, Delco Steve?
No. Honestly, if I didn't know, like,
you wouldn't know.
If you never told me that you were doing that, never would have known.
So my barber, John the barber, when he worked at Razor Bar, I told him after he was probably cutting my hair for a year or two. And I told him, and he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I had a hair transplant. Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I had a hair transplant. And I'm like, and he's like, I'm like, yeah. So he's like, well, where? And I'm like, so he's like, I can't tell. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course you can't tell. You're not supposed to tell.
That's the idea.
That's the idea. So yeah, it's and by the way, it's Glatz, GLATMCTR.com. If you want to go to the website, or you can just get with me, email me, John Marks Media, DM me on all my socials, and I can tell you more information about it. Hand you off to the good people over there.
Well, hopefully I won't need any of that information anytime soon.
I would hope with you. No, you look good, man. You look good. All right. Delco Steve, I will see you at the very minimum next week, but go Birds. What's the final score you have for the game? I don't remember.
I said 24-17.
24-17. Yeah. trying to think where I was leaning on the game. I was almost dead on with the last game. I thought they'd win by double digits. I'm gonna go 30-21.
I would love to score 30 points against this.
I think the offense is going to break out a little bit. I think this is the response game by Jalen, and that the coach is going and be like, all right, we got to get it going. They got to get going for the Lions. They can't slog through another game because they'll get beat.
We're hard rooting for Commanders, right? So we get NFC Championship game at home against Jaden Daniels.
Could you imagine?
Dude, it'd be awesome.
I haven't even considered that as being a possibility, but yeah, who knows?
If this, I did not to get us going real quick, but the way that Dan Quinn coached that game on Saturday or Sunday night with going for it on fourth downs and
every
everything,
time,
if Dan Quinn and Dan Campbell get into a going for a fourth down competition and one team wins, the other team loses, it's possible that the Lions can choke this.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's
dude.
For teams with that kind of with teams that take those kind of risks, the Lions should just play it straight up and be like, we're going to win on talent. But if they're they're going to do what they're going to do, and if it goes the Commanders' way, it goes the Commanders' way.
Daniels is definitely a player that, God, he is, for being a rookie, he is so good, man. He's dropping dimes.
I don't think it's a stretch. There's been a lot of talk that people are getting crushed for saying he's might be the best quarterback in the NFC. It might not be a stretch.
Yeah. But so when remember he went in that little bit of a swoon when he injured his ribs and he wasn't great for a couple weeks. And that's when a lot of people came out like, oh yeah, hey Marks, remember when you said that you would take Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts? And I'm like, yeah, and I still would. And
healthy ribs.
Yeah, and I like Jalen Hurts. And it's like, oh, we'll see what happens when defensive coordinators figure out how to defend them. I'm like, okay, that's fair. You're right. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks that after year one, they're never the same or they regress. All right, that's fair enough. I don't think that's going to happen with this kid.
I mean, for Eagles fans, or Eagles' sakes, I hope it does. But he's so fun to watch. He's ridiculous.
God, he's good. He really is. All right, we'll go Birds, and we will talk next week. Delco Steve, let me get some.
Feed some ducks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very upset that I can't hear anything out of my headphones. Can't be the headphones. I don't know. Something's weird. I also couldn't play audio out of my iPhone tonight, and I was like, "Am I hooked up to a Bluetooth? Is something going on like that?" But But not. I don't think with this. I don't know. All right, Delco Steve. Have a good weekend.
Peace.